Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon, and I will be discussing ways in which collaborative learning management systems can be integrated into the classroom. Now, in order to facilitate this discussion, I'll be using Google Hangouts on Air, but there are other platforms that could certainly be used, including Skype, which is a great tool that can be accessed by a computer, tablet, or mobile phone, and allow users to place calls, conduct group video calls, instant message, and even screen share to give great presentations online. Now, a question when looking at learning management systems is, what is a learning management system? Well, basically, a learning management system provides an online virtual classroom where students can interact with one another, submit work, and receive feedback. Learning management systems range from systems for managing training and educational records to software for distributing online or blended hybrid courses over the internet. So it's a great tool to introduce your students to kind of a learning platform that can be utilized outside of the traditional classroom time. So students can access the platform after school and during school on their BYOD devices or on school-owned technology. Highlight the main differences between Edmodo and Wikispaces. So when I was looking at learning management systems, I looked at comparing two different platforms, one being Edmodo and the other being Wikispaces. They're two distinct learning management systems with varying features. I utilized the CSAM framework, which provided an easy way to identify the ways in which each app is or is not suited for collaborative learning. So in order to show that, I'm going to do a quick screen share and pull up what I discovered. Okay, so here it is. So using the CSAM framework, it was easy to determine the differences between Wikispaces and Edmodo. As far as looking at Wikispaces, users can contribute to a class newsfeed, participate in discussions via threaded reply, utilize Office 365 programs with multiple editors. Educators can collaborate with students to provide feedback on projects, assignments, and contributions, and all members of the class work collaboratively in order to build the wiki. It can be situated in a real-world context by developing assigned tasks that are such, for example, developing a wiki that explores the history of a local community. It's active because students are creators of the wiki and therefore actively developing the content. Students are involved in social newsfeed, providing the ability to respond in real time to peers, and students can work solo or in a team to complete assigned tasks. It's mobile because students can be actively engaged on the platform during class and after school, and it can be accessed by a browser, tablet, or phone. As far as Edmodo is concerned, the CSAM framework really shows that Edmodo perhaps is not as collaborative as Wikispaces. Students can communicate with the teacher. Parents can view information sent from the teacher or from their child, and students can post to a group, but they cannot post directly with their peers. It's primarily used for assignment submission, quiz taking, and feedback from the teacher. There's a lack of ability to situate the platform in a real-world context. As far as it being active, students can complete quiz online, they can submit assignments, they can create a profile, and they can earn badges. And similar to Wikispaces, it can be accessed on a BYOD device on multiple platforms. So I found that the CSAM framework was very good at helping me to better understand both Wikispaces and Edmodo as far as looking at both in terms of being collaborative. Now, when we're looking at how a learning management system can be utilized, I think that's really important to see how can it be utilized in a real-world context. How have other educators utilized it? What are some of the best practices? So in order to look at that, I would advise you to see, let me see if I can pull this up here. There we are. So I'd recommend that you have a look at this particular Wikispace, which is Mrs. Ron Cohn's wiki. And really she outlines 6 different ways to use the wiki. And I found that there's some great tips here, including team collaboration. And I think that really utilizing the wiki space as a way for students to bring their knowledge of one subject together is really powerful. It can also be used as kind of a student website. Students can store their files on the wiki and access them at home. So really students don't necessarily have the excuse of, oh, I forgot my items at home anymore if you're using the wiki space. Another kind of section that I would recommend that you look at is how I use Edmodo, brilliant ideas from teachers. So there's a whole variety, 22 items here, on different ways to use Edmodo in the classroom. One in particular that I found really interesting was the science fair exhibition hall. So creating basically a virtual science fair online and allowing students within the school to access that information using their group code. So I thought that was a really interesting thought. So that's kind of an overview, a very quick overview of learning management systems. I'm going to be turning it over to Katina, who will be exploring social media apps in relation to collaborative apps and technology. So I'll turn it over to Katina. Thank you very much.